Okay, so let us begin today's revision, and today we are going to revise the chapter second phase of the Indian national movement, and under this topic we will revise about the rise of assertive nationalist leaders. Okay, so first of all let us know about this rise of assertive nationalist leaders. So the period, first of all let us know about the duration of this assertive nationalism. So the period from 1905 to 1918, which is marked by the emergence of a new group of leaders, young leaders within the Congress, who were known as assertive nationalists. This is known as the period of assertive nationalism. This was the time 1905 to 1918. This was the period when some young leaders, they became prominent. They came into limelight within the Congress, and these leaders were known as the assertive leaders. So from 1905 to 1918, Congress was controlled. Congress was dominated by these group of leaders who were known as assertives or radicals also. Okay? And why these leaders, Congress leaders, were called assertives? Because they advocated active resistance to British imperialism. They were in favor of taking some active steps against British imperialism. That's why, because of their methods, they were known as the assertive nationalists. Okay, and these assertive nationalists, they didn't agree with the methods and ideology of the early nationalist leaders. Okay, and these assertive nationalist leaders, they criticized the British rule in India and held it responsible for country's miserable condition. They blamed the Britishers responsible for India's miserable condition. They clearly stated that today whatever the condition of country is, it is because of the British. So they severely criticized the British rule in India. Now let us know about the causes of the rise of assertive nationalism. Till now you saw Congress was dominated by early nationalists. They were very much moderate and polite. So now what were the causes for the rise of these leaders, assertive leaders? So first cause, the efforts which were made by the early nationalist leaders. They exposed the true exploitative nature of the British rule in India. Means early nationalist leaders, what did they do? They exposed the exploitative nature of British rule in India. This was also a cause for the rise of assertive nationalism. Okay. Next, but what happened? Though early nationalists became successful in exposing the true nature of the Britishers, but they totally failed in their efforts to get something solid from the British government. Early nationalist leaders failed in attaining something solid, something fruitful from the British government. That's why these assertive nationalists came to limelight. Okay. Now the younger elements within the Congress, these assertive nationalist leaders, who were they? They were the younger element within the Congress. Okay. They realized the futility. Futility means futility, uselessness. It was useful, uselessness. What they realized, these assertive nationalists realized the methods which had been adopted earlier by the moderates, they are useless, they are not sufficient. Okay, so they just rejected the methods which were adopted by the early nationalist leaders. They realized by adopting these methods, what were the methods of early nationalists? 3 P's: petition, prayer, protest. So these were futile. Okay. Now, next cause which became responsible for the rise of assertive nationalism was the worsening economic condition of the country. Till now, the economic condition of the country was getting worsening day by day. Peasants and farmers, they were not able to pay the heavy taxes. Famines and droughts were there, but the government was not paying any attention. People were dying of hunger, diseases were also spreading, but British government, they were not paying any attention towards the improvement of the condition of the Indian people. Many were unemployed also, they were not having jobs, okay. And why was this happening? Why was India's condition getting worsened day by day? Because of the exploitative policies of the British government. Now, these leaders, they were realizing the fact that for the worsening economic condition of the country, who is responsible? British government. Okay. Now, apart from it, there are some other causes also. The ill treatment which was given to Indians in other British colonies, like for example in South Africa, many Indians were ill treated by the Britishers, and the news were reaching to India. So this also became responsible for the rise of assertive nationalism. जब हमको लगता है ना, when we feel कि our countrymen just are ill treated somewhere else in other country, then naturally we feel sympathy for them. So similarly, that was happening during that time also. When the Indians here in India, they just came to know about the ill treatment which was given to Indians in South Africa, they turned against the Britishers. And another important cause for the rise of assertive nationalism, what was it? It was the happening of some international events. For example, the defeat of Russians by Japan, okay, and defeat of Italian forces by Abyssinians made the Indians believe that Europeans are not invincible. In the international field, what was happening? Many European countries were defeated by Asians. Then Indians believed that Europeans, these Britishers, are not invincible. If we just plan, if we organize ourselves, we can also start a fight against the Britishers and defeat them. Okay, so these were the causes, and some repressive colonial policies of different governor-generals, viceroys also became responsible for the rise of assertive nationalism. So, rise of assertive nationalism, the causes are clear to you. At least 3 or 4 causes you can give. Huh? Any one cause? Tell me. Who will tell? Any one cause? Yes, Naman?
The spread of financial plague, which is spreading under the Indian people. The British government is not taking an action against it to recover from that disease.
Failure of early nationalists to attain Swaraj.
Yes. Okay.
True nature of it.
Though the early nationalist leaders exposed the true nature of the Britishers, but they were not successful in getting something solved. And these young leaders within the Congress, they were not satisfied with the methods of the early nationalists. They were in favor of adopting some active resistance against the British. And the happening of some international events also became responsible for this rise of assertive nationalism. So now let us know about the main objective of the assertive nationalism. The main objective of the assertive nationalism was the immediate attainment of Swaraj or complete independence as it existed in the United Kingdom. This can be asked in the short question answer also. Okay, the main objective of assertives was to attain Swaraj or complete independence from the British rule. Now let us know about the methods used by assertive nationalists. So these assertive nationalists, they adopted totally different methods from early nationalists. First, they advocated vigorous, means political action. They were in favor of adopting some powerful, vigorous political action, and they adopted the concept of Swadeshi, boycott, national education, and passive resistance. Passive resistance means a way of opposing the government by peaceful means, by refusing to obey orders. The meaning of passive resistance means to defy the government orders, to disobey the government orders, and peacefully oppose the government. Okay, so this can also be asked in the short question answer, the methods of assertives. So Swadeshi, boycott, national education, and passive resistance. These were the 4 methods which were adopted by the assertive nationalists. And what was their objective? To attain Swaraj or complete independence. Okay, now let us know about the main achievements of assertive nationalism. What did they achieve? So, first achievement, these assertive nationalist leaders, they fostered, they developed the national pride among the Indians by extolling the India's past. They presented India's past to the world, to the Indians. Many people of India and the world also, they came to know about the India's glorious past. So what happened? This became responsible for the development of national pride among the Indians. Now the Indians who had forgotten about India's past, because for the centuries we the Indians were living in slavery. First Turk came here, then Mughals dominated us, then the Britishers came. For centuries we the Indians were living the life of slavery, and we had forgotten our culture, our rich heritage. So what did they do? These assertives revived the Indian tradition, culture, and rich heritage of India. Then the Indians started feeling proud. Okay, and next these assertive nationalists, they filled the Indians with self-reliance when they promoted Swadeshi and boycott movement. So because of this Swadeshi and boycott movement, many Indians got the work, job, employment in different factories. Many people got the work. So when they got the work, then they were having self-confidence. Okay, and they also gave new slogans to Indian movement. These assertive nationalist leaders, they gave some new slogans to national movement like non-cooperation, okay, and passive resistance, mass agitation, and self-reliance. These were the new slogans. Passive resistance, mass agitation, non-cooperation, and self-reliance. These were the new slogans which were given by the assertive nationalists. Okay? And it was through the efforts of these assertive nationalist leaders that there emerged a class of freedom fighters who were ready to sacrifice each and everything, their lives, their property, everything for the sake of their country. With the efforts of these assertive nationalist leaders, what happened? A class emerged in India who was ready to sacrifice their lives, their property, everything for the sake of the country. So these were the achievements of assertives. At least 3 achievements should be clear to you, very clear to you, and you should be able to mention it also. Okay. Now let us know about the prominent assertive leaders. So trio is very famous: Lal, Bal, and Pal. Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Bipin Chandra Pal. So these 3 names we have to remember. Okay, and these 3 are together called the trio: Lal, Bal, and Pal. So first of all, let us know about the prominent assertive leaders, and among them I am going to tell you about the Bal Gangadhar Tilak. So Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he is known as the father of the assertive nationalism. You have to remember this. Tilak is known as the father of assertive nationalism, and he played a significant role in popularizing the cult of patriotism and making the कांग्रेस मूवमेंट ब्रॉड बेस्ड. तिलक के एफर्ट से कांग्रेस का जो बेस था बहुत बड़ा. Many people started joining the Congress. Many people started participating in the national movements which were started by Congress. Okay? And Tilak believed that political rights couldn't be achieved by aggressively demanding them. Sorry, could be achieved. Tilak was of the opinion that political rights couldn't be begged. उनका क्या ओपिनियन था कि पॉलिटिकल राइट्स में कुछ ऐसा नहीं है कि हम भीख मांगे, बैक करें. इट इज समथिंग फॉर विच वी हैव टू फाइट. ये जो है इसके लिए हमको फाइट करना होगा. ही वॉज ऑफ द ओपिनियन कि हमको ये भीख में नहीं मिलते, आज़ादी हमको भीख में नहीं मिलेगी. फ्रीडम इज नॉट समथिंग विच कैन बी बेग्ड फॉर, इट इज समथिंग विच कैन बी अचीव्ड बाय फाइट. He was of the opinion, and he started 2 newspapers. All of us know Kesari and Mehratta, Marathi also. Okay, and through these newspapers, he taught the lesson of nationalism, and he taught the people to be courageous and self-reliant. He taught the people. उन्होंने क्या सिखाया लोगों को, कैसे करेजियस होना चाहिए और कैसे अपने आप को हम सेल्फ रिलायबल बने, अपने आप पर भरोसा होना चाहिए, आत्मविश्वास है ना, सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस, सेल्फ रिलायंस. वी शुड बी फुल ऑफ करेज. ओनली देन वी कैन फाइट अगेंस्ट द ब्रिटिशर्स फॉर आवर इंडिपेंडेंस. ठीक है. एंड ही वॉज द फर्स्ट नेशनलिस्ट लीडर्स हु जस्ट organized many akharas and lathi clubs, and he started Ganpati festival and Shivaji festival in order to develop the feeling of national pride among the Indians. These are all his contributions. Newspapers, lathi clubs, akharas, okay, and then organization of these national festivals. Okay, and he was the first one to openly declare that Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it. You have to remember his slogan also. Sometimes the name is asked, who said this. Okay, sometimes the slogan is asked, so you have to remember this. And it was mostly due to Tilak's effort that Congress resolution at Kolkata demanding self-government, boycott and national education was passed. It was because of the efforts of Tilak that at the annual session of Congress in Kolkata, the resolution of boycott, Swadeshi, self-government and national education, they all were accepted and they were passed also. Okay. Then Tilak also started the Home Rule movement in 1916 for attaining the self-government. This was all about Tilak. I think now you will be able to write something about Tilak. Now next is Bipin Chandra Pal. So Bipin Chandra Pal, he is known as the father of revolutionary thought in India. Remember this thing? Tilak is known as the father of assertive nationalism. Bipin Chandra Pal is known as the father of revolutionary thought in India. And along with Lala Lajpat Rai and Tilak, he belonged to Lal Bal Pal tribe. And his program consisted, he also advocated Swadeshi, boycott and national education. He was also in favor of all these methods. Okay, and Bipin Chandra Pal, he was a great social reformer also. Okay, he wanted to remove social evils from society and he wanted to arise the feeling of nationalism through education. He was in favor of educating the women. Okay. Now next is Lala Lajpat Rai. So Lala Lajpat Rai is popularly known as Punjab Kesari or Shere Punjab. This you have to remember. And he founded Punjabi and Vande Mataram डेली, एंड प्यूपिल जो कि इंग्लिश वीकली था, ठीक है, एंड पंजाबी एंड वंदे मातरम उर्दू वीकली, एंड प्यूपिल इंग्लिश वीकली. So he started these, and he was also associated with the Arya Samaj movement. Arya Samaj, which was established by Dayanand Saraswati. Okay, so he also was in touch of this Arya Samaj movement, and he set up Servants of Pupil Society for the welfare of the downtrodden and outcast. He was also the just social reformer, and he was just also the person who held the weaker sections of the society. So for this purpose, okay, he set up the Servants of the Pupil Society, and he played a significant role in the expansion of DAV College at Lahore. लाहौर में DAV कॉलेज को उन्होंने जो था उसको एक्सपेंड करवाया, ठीक है. ही ज्वाइंड द कांग्रेस इन 1888 एंड रिमेन इट्स मेंबर टिल द एंड ऑफ हिज लाइफ, and he was elected as the president of Congress in 1920, and he became the first president of All India Trade Union Congress in 1920. Okay, these are some facts about Lala Lajpat Rai. So main you have to remember, for example, he is popularly known as the Sher Punjab or Punjab Kesari. Then he also just associated with Arya Samaj. He also expanded the DAV College in Lahore. Okay, and he he founded the Punjabi, and the Pupil and Vande Mataram. These 3 or 4 perfect sentences you have to remember. Okay, so this is all about the assertive.